So that's still available. Go check that out. But he has a new one up this week for this week that I need to listen to. It's escaping me who the guest is.
One of the big things about Stuart Copeland, I remember. Do you remember right after the Star Wars came out? Several years later, they came out with the Droids cartoon.
Yeah,
it was on Saturday mornings.
Right.
Stuart Copeland did the theme song for that.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Well, he's done a lot of stuff, and he talks about doing like concertos and he had a really interesting background. I didn't realize that he was mostly raised overseas, mostly raised in the Middle East, and very interesting take on the reggae influences within the police, early police stuff. That really came natural to him because there's a lot of rhythmic similarities with Middle Eastern music.
Right.
So it was kind of interesting.
Well, didn't he kind of travel the world? He was kind of like looking for the perfect beat or something like that. He was just actually kind of sampling different music and seeing the similarities.
Yeah, he's he's a world traveler and just a very, very, very interesting interview.
I'll have to check that out because I did not listen to that one.
Yeah, check it out. I would definitely recommend that one.
Well, it's that time of the show where we need to get to our sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, our sponsor is Smitzer's Fine Products. Today, we have Smitzer's Shaft Shine. When your peen needs that special sheen, rub on some Smitzer's Shaft Shine. Rub it in good.
When you can't get a job without a bright and shiny knob, brighten things up with Smitzer's Shaft Shine.
If you have sensitive skin, be sure to pick up the moisturizing version with aloe and vitamin E in your local pharmacy. Ask your doctor if this product is right for you. And by doctor, I mean psychiatrist. Now, what kind of job is that? I know we don't write this copy. We're sent this copy from Smitzer's. What kind of job you think this would be?
I assume they meant like a hand job.
I guess, because...
Or, no, wait, could possibly be a blow job.
I'm hoping it's not like some kind of corporate job because, I've had some interviews recently, and I'd have to say I went in there with maybe a dull peen.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
Get the Smitzers.
Definitely. Pick that up in your local pharmacy. Thanks, Smitzers. You're always a swell sponsor.
Yeah, we appreciate the support.
And the moment you've all been waiting for is coming up. Our review of Machete
Kills. Mr. Projectionist, stop the show. Here's great news you ought to know.
Okay, yeah, that's it. That's the intro for that.
Oh, man. Machete Kills.
Oh, he did. He slaughtered me.
This is, of course, the sequel to the successful and fun and movie that we both liked, original Machete.
Yes.
By Robert Rodriguez, starring Danny Trejo. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we both enjoyed the first movie. Unfortunately, we are not reviewing the first movie.
Right. I don't know what happened between the first movie and the second movie. Well, I think I have some theories. The list of stars in this movie, let's just go down the list here. We have Danny Trejo, of course, Michelle Rodriguez, Sofia Vergara, Amber Heard, Lady Gaga, Antonio Banderas, Jessica Alba, Damian Bashir, Alexa Vega, and I'm not good with names. I'm going down the list here. I'm doing pretty good. Vanessa Hudgens, Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's Cuba Gooding Jr.
I'm going with Cuba. The native way you say that. William Sadler, Marco Zaror, which I don't really know who that is, but he played Zaror. Mel Gibson. Let's skip some of these people. That's about it. That's enough stars right there, really. So, to me, the problem with this movie was they wrote it in a way just to kind of give an excuse for most of these stars to show up.
Yeah, it was kind of a one-trick pony. You see, if you've seen the trailer, virtually all the stars that you just mentioned are at least shown in the trailer.
Oh, and I didn't even mention not Emilio Estevez.
Carlos Estevez.
Carlos Estevez.
It was introducing Carlos Estevez.
Better known as Charlie Sheen, of course.
Now, yeah, the trailer looked amazing. And of course, the original Machete movie was inspired by a fake trailer that Rodriguez did for the Grindhouse
combo movie.
Yeah, the combo movie, the Grindhouse combo movie with Tarantino. Mm-hmm. And, there was a lot of interest in that trailer, that fake trailer. It was really funny and entertaining. So they made the original Machete movie. and it was kind of a parody of crazy over-the-top one-man against the world kind of action.
Yeah, mexploitation movies.
Right, yeah, exactly, with a Latin American star kind of in the feature role. And it was great. It was hyper-violent. It was fun. I mean...
Did I just coin a term, by the way?
Maybe. Mexploitation?
Yes, I hadn't heard that before. I think I just coined a term.
Well done.
Thank you.
So anyway, I think that the first movie really was successful. The second movie is almost a parody of the first movie, which was a parody.
Right.
To the point of where it's practically unwatchable. Mm-hmm. I think we both kind of felt like, 10 minutes in the movie, I was like, what in the hell were we thinking with this movie?
They had another fake trailer at the beginning of this movie, which the whole movie was leading up to the fake trailer at the beginning, but the fake trailer in the beginning was the best part of the movie.
Right, and the fake trailer was a sequel for the movie that we were getting ready to watch.
Right.
So they could have played the 3 trailers from all 3 movies. It would have taken about 12 minutes, probably. It would have been a great 12 minutes. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was an hour and,
It was 107 minutes, which it felt much longer than that.
Oh, my God. There was nothing new to add to this movie after 10 minutes into it. It was that bad.
The problem was, again, it was all written around the stars, and just a way to kind of get them in there. They had really no interaction with each other. I don't think 2 of these stars were on the screen at the same time. It was basically like little bits just to kind of show off, hey, we got Lady Gaga. Watch her for a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, Danny Trejo was, he was probably, shooting for a few weeks because he's in most of the scenes. Mm-hmm. Amber Heard is in probably more than a few. Damian Bashir, another few. But everybody else were probably only on set for a few hours. And they probably wrote the script as they were, filming it. It was that bad.
It certainly felt like that. It felt like, and I think you brought this up as a point, this felt like every idea that Robert Rodriguez had that he didn't get to incorporate in another movie, and he just threw it all in.
Right. It's like he was doing Spy Kids movies and coming up with great ideas for a more adult type of fare.
Right.
And so he had this list of things he wanted to throw together. Mm-hmm. And he probably has been pitching this stuff at Hollywood parties for the last couple of years and getting these big-time stars wanting to be in it. But, it seemed like Mel Gibson, who's a fine actor, I know he's got a lot of, off-screen kind of stuff that may make people critical of him. But as a body of work, Mel Gibson is a fine actor. I think we could both agree. It almost looked like he was just holding back laughing at this while he was doing it. It was that bad. Yeah,
I actually have to wonder if anybody that was in it read the whole script or just their parts.
There was no way there was a script for them to read, man. There's no way that anybody scripted that piece of garbage.
Well, the individual scenes, I guess in their own way, some of them were okay. But the thing is, it made for a nonsensical movie putting them together. Danny Trejo, I think he did fine. I don't think this was really even a case of the acting, because they had the opportunity to be over the top throughout the entire movie.
I don't think the performances were bad or anything. It wasn't a matter of all those people you named, Antonio Banderas, Sofia Vergara. They did a good job with what they were doing. It's just the movie itself was so bizarre. It was like a joke of a joke on top of a joke.
Now, Alexa Vega, that's kind of an interesting thing. She is actually the girl from the first Spy Kids movie. And she looked pretty fantastic in this movie, I gotta say.
Yeah, so for all of you young parents out there that have been seeing Spy Kids movies for the last 10 years with your kids, and you've been thinking about, man, I can't wait to see what she looks like when she grows up. She's all grown up.
Yeah, I'll say.
And that might be worth going to see Machete Kills. Now, I had not seen the Spy Kids movies. Because I don't have kids.
I saw them. She's not in all of them. I think she's in the first one, maybe the second one. But she actually shows up being older in one of the later ones. I don't know, 4 or 5. I don't know how in the hell many there's been. But I could tell then she was going to have a lot of potential.
Yeah, well, you said that she was, you're talking about, this young girl and that the movie was so... No, I'm just kidding. You didn't say that, did you?
No.
Never. But no, but just to get back to on task with this particular, with the story with this thing, Machete Kills, like we said, a sequel. In this particular installment, The U.S. government recruits the hero Machete to battle his way through Mexico in order to take down an arms dealer who looks to launch a weapon into space. The arms dealer is Mel Gibson. Mm-hmm. The U.S. president is Carlos Estevez, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen, who actually was good.
Maybe we should have said spoiler alert at the beginning. I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you know what? Do not see this movie. I don't care if we spoil the whole thing for you. We're doing you a favor right now.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, if we tell you everything that happened, if we just sat here and just told you, described every scene to you in detail and spoiled the entire experience for you, and even if you did pay to see the movie, go and stand next to you and yell in your ear, this movie sucks, while you're watching it, it would be doing you a service.
Right. So the movie starts out, it's got Machete on. Oh, it's got to actually go into each scene, but maybe,
I know
maybe that would take maybe that would take a little too long.
That's a little different format than what we're used to doing.
Yeah.
Are we making some format changes?
It's always possible with this show. So Robert Rodriguez, he does everything. He directs, he produces, he does the visual effects.
Yeah, he's like the editor,
screen story editor,
director of photography. Yeah. I mean,
he did the music. So it's got his name. So if it's a piece of crap, it's got his name all over it. There's no one else to blame, that's for sure.
I think this is just one of those, it's probably something he just did for fun, to cash in a little bit on the success of Machete, and he and Danny Trejo have a good relationship. Trejo has worked with him before, and I know from his interviews that he really respects Robert Rodriguez and that they get each other, kind of get each other's aesthetic, whatever. Yeah, I don't know about this one though, man.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like this was something that may have probably seemed like a total blast when they were filming it, but just
I'm sure everybody on the set had a good time. It looked like they had a good time doing it, but it didn't make for a great movie. Now I'm sure there's people out there that are going to love this just the same, but it's just a ridiculous piece of filmmaking. The thing is, maybe we're so disappointed because we know what Robert Rodriguez is capable of.
Oh, El Mariachi, I love that movie.
Yeah,
Desperado. I mean, I'll speak for both of us. One of our favorites.
Right. I was blown away the first time I saw that movie. And a lot of the other things he's been involved with, anything from the Four Rooms pieces that he did. I really respect him as a director and a producer of these movies, but this one, he just really missed the mark with me.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, like I said, was just a matter of just kind of combining ideas for over-the-top scenes, throwing in some... trying to, just really a lot of throwaway dialogue and stuff. I can't really even think of any like witty lines or anything from the movie that would be like catch on or anything.
Machete don't tweet.
That's probably the line that will live beyond the life of this movie.
Yeah. There's tons of problems. Even when he says that line, he's there's just a lot of basic filmmaking issues with this movie. For instance, when he does that line, Machete don't tweet, he's handed an iPhone that has a knife. Now, you figure this is foreshadowing for him using this knife later in the movie. Never does. Never comes up again.
That's even in the trailer. Now, and this is one of those movies where it's one of my pet peeves, and I don't know if it's a pet peeve really, but it's something I notice a lot.
It is a peeve.
Yeah, not so much a pet peeve.
Not a pet peeve. It's more like a tertiary peeve.
Yes, a somewhat associated peeve.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, is when a trailer just looks phenomenal.
Right.
And it just makes you want to see the movie. That's what a trailer is supposed to do. But then the movie there's nothing in the movie that wasn't in the trailer that was worth seeing.
Right.
And I can think of one thing that occurred in this movie that not in the trailer, to my recollection, that was worth seeing. And that was when the guy got his intestines thrown into the helicopter rotor, and it basically vaporized him, pulled him into the blades of a helicopter and vaporized him. And that occurs 15 minutes into the movie, but it's a good.
But the thing is, it happens again 5 minutes later.
Yeah, they use it, and he goes back to the same death.
5 minutes, and literally 5 minutes later in the movie.
No, I'll give you that. Seeing it twice was stupid.
Yeah,
but seeing it once was all right. Mm-hmm. And that was not in the trailer, so I'll give him props for that. He had one scene, one death action.
It might have been in the Red Band trailer. I don't know. I didn't see
That's
that
true.
One.
Yeah,
it's a little too violent for regular TV. I don't know. This was just a cap to a night that pretty much sucked. We had a chance to see a lot of great movies, but interestingly enough, Gravity beat out Captain Phillips this past weekend. A lot of times these new releases come out and they end up on top, but Gravity actually had a really strong second week.
Well, Gravity is getting a lot of getting a lot of buzz. Let's face it, getting a lot of buzz.
Right.
And it's not, a lot of times these movies come out and there's a lot of buzz the week before they come out.